I like how they neatly fit into the compartments, though. That's fun. Now, so this is the example of what you don't want to draw today. Because there's like 4 more of these coming. I don't want you to draw any of them. I want you to take them in and have them later. Is this enough light? Speaking of light, is that better?
Yes.
That's better. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. And everybody can just feel free to switch that if you need to at any point during a day.
Yeah.
Math 2, don't worry.
Sorry.
Math 243. Math 243 predominantly deals with what is called descriptive statistics, which is predominantly very often what you guys deal with in your day. If you are interested in the stock market, you might look at how the stock market did yesterday. If you're interested in downloads of your music through BMI, you might get your quarterly statement from BMI where it says, oh, they streamed your song 5,000 times, here's your 10 cents. Okay? Not that I'm upset about that or anything, but that's okay. So this is data that you've collected, it already happened, it's what happened, here it is. Here's an example of some. In 2012, we'll update this in a couple more years for 2016. This is the race between Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, in which Barack Obama won 50.6 of the popular vote, and Mitt Romney got 47.8 of the popular vote. That is a conclusion. They counted every single vote, at least they tell me they did, and that's what happened. And that's what happened. These numbers are what happened. Those are descriptive statistics. We're not making a prediction about the 2016 election. We're saying this is what happened then. There's no uncertainty, right? No uncertainty at all. Happened. Done. Foregone conclusion.
Why don't they add to 100?
Good question. Why don't those add to 100%? Because believe it or not, there are more than 2 political parties in this country. It's hard, I know it's hard to believe, there's like a dozen of them. The other 10 fight for 1% of the vote, except for when Ross Perot ran. Do you remember that? No, because you guys weren't born then. He got like 20% of the popular vote that year. Do you remember that? Was that a H.W. Bush election? What year? Was that H.W.? H.W. Quayle, maybe? Or was Quayle his vice president? See, I'm getting it all mixed up now, too.
That was his vice.
That was his vice,
was his vice.
so it would have been Bush Sr. against Dukakis? We can Google this if we care. But Ross Perot comes in and kills 20% of the popular vote. The only time an independent candidate has done anything more than like 2%. Crazy. But that's why, Eric. That's the only reason. But the important one that does sell to 100 is the electoral votes. That's what actually decides who becomes president, is the electoral votes. If somebody wants to explain that to me over coffee someday, I'd love to hear the explanation. I don't know what the hell how it works yet. But this is a map of those electoral votes by state. If it's blue, Obama won the electoral votes. If it's red, that means Romney did. Now when you look at the electoral percentages, 61.7 to 38.3, Obama's a clear winner electorally. When you look at the colors on the map, not so clear, is it?
No.
Not very clear, right? Why?
Population distribution.
Wow, that was like a stereo. Electoral votes are based on population of a state, not size of the state. So what a clever statistician did was they said, okay, so we're looking at these states. California is a big state. New York is not a big state by comparison, but it's a huge state by population because of New York City, Manhattan, and whatnot. Wyoming's a pretty big state by area, but it's like the least dense populated state in the entire, and I know that Alaska and Hawaii's not on here. This is only the contiguous 48, and I apologize for anybody from Alaska. So what a clever statistician did was redrew the map of the United States where the states were proportional to how populous they are. So what I did was, since you could all find Wyoming before, you probably couldn't find Delaware before. Here, back up one. Okay, so you can find Wyoming. I pointed to it. It's the rectangle. One of the 2 rectangles. Can you find Delaware? Well, you probably can now. It's this little guy right here. That's where I'm from. I'm from right there. Okay? So Delaware looks tiny compared to Wyoming, and in area it is, but by population it's not.
Oh, because of those.
Look how much it's swollen right here. So here's Wyoming right there, and there's Delaware, and all of a sudden now you're like, oh, I see the 61.7% versus the 38.3% now. Because the rural middle of the country is less populous. The populations are on the coasts and also near the Great Lakes for numbers of commerce reasons from 150, 200 years ago, whatever the history is back there. Kind of cool?
Yeah.
Doesn't change the statistics at all. Statistics are the same. Different way of looking at it. Pretty cool. But the statistician didn't stop there. They then broke it down by county. This is every county in the country and how the counties voted. This looks even worse for Obama, doesn't it? It looks even worse. Until you adjust the counties for population. And it looks like a Rorschach test. Can you find New York City now? Hey, question. Can you find New York City there? Yeah? Can you find New York City there? Not so hard anymore. Can you find LA now? Yeah? Can you find San Fran? Not that hard. Kind of tricky to find them here. Well, LA not so much because LA sprawls. But all of a sudden, oh, there's Chicago. Pretty obvious, right? Now, they also got ridiculous with this. They adjusted the counties for percentage of voting. So in other words, red and blue make purple. They gave a purple shade. If it was evenly split conservative Republican, they went purple. More blue was more liberal, more red, more conservative. And then they adjusted it for population. This is getting too far. Too much of a good thing. Yeah, this looks like vomit at this point. So my personal favorite, honestly, was this one. I like this one the best. It gets a point across really, really powerfully. If you want more, the population adjusted one from 2 back was fun too, but this is my personal favorite. Not that there's a right answer. But the big takeaway is all of this is descriptive because this happened, and this is just the reporting on it. We could have easily just said this right here, and this right here, and stopped there. That's also descriptive because it happened, and then we talked about it. Okay? Baseball cards. Turn a baseball card over. Players' results. They still make those?
Yeah.
They do. Okay. Turn them over. Oh, this is a player from 2012, 2011. That happened. We're talking about it. What's the opposite of descriptive stat? Or what's the next bit of descriptive stat? Taking a result like this and trying to predict what's going to happen in 2016, maybe. Huh? We did this today in Math 244, collected some data, trying to make a guess based on what was happening. That's not descriptive anymore. You're sticking your neck out there, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Because you could be wrong with your... So here we go. Here's an example. Okay, of what's called inferential stat. Because you are inferring something. And as Sandra said, yes, we are sticking our necks out because we could be wrong in statistical inference. Yes, that is a problem. Yes, yes, yes.
So
Tell me your name.
John.
John, go, my friend.
Is the descriptive stats, is that always based on past?